What's up, you sick mother bluffers? Welcome back to another cash game vlog. Very quick, if you enjoy the content, please help me spread it by hitting that thumbs up button and dropping a comment. It's a small thing, but it makes a big difference. I buy in for the maximum, 400 bucks. Let's get into it. Kicking things off with this first hand where I straddle from under the gun, folds around to the small blind who makes the call, so does the big blind, and I look down at ace queen offsuit. Going to put in the raise to 20 here, and both players make the call. We go three ways to a flop of queen 8-6 2 hearts. I flop top 2. Action checks to me, and with quite a few draws available, I'm going to bet 45. Both blinds make the fold. Nice start to the session. This is one of the strangest hands I've played recently. I put out the button straddle. 4 players make the call before I look down at queen jack suited. I bump it up to 25. 2 players make the call, so we go three ways to a flop of 4-7-3 2 clubs. This is where things get strange. Under the gun leads for 75, and it looks like they only have 68 behind. For that amount, you know I'm going to see a turn in the river. I put under the gun all in, small blind folds. Action is back on under the gun, and I'm expecting a snap call, but it doesn't come. My opponent goes into the tank for almost a minute before making the fold. I'm a little bit shocked, but I'm not going to complain. Chips come my way. In this one, I'm in middle position and I pick up pocket kings. I open to 15. The big blind is the only player to make the call. We go heads up to a flop of 8-3 ace 2 spades. Big blind checks to me. I'm going to check back and reevaluate on the turn. The turn comes to 10 and the big blind leads for 25, and I quickly make the call. Going to the river, which comes a 3. Big blind checks to me. I sense a lot of weakness from my opponent, so much so that I don't even put out a bet. I just check back, show my kings, and they're good. In this hand, I'm on the button and I put out the $5 straddle. 2 players make the call before I look down at jack 9 suited. Going to mix things up here with a raise to 25. Small blind is the only player to make the call, so we go heads up to a flop of 9 king deuce 2 spades. Small blind checks to me. I'm happy to take this pot down now. I bet 40 and the small blind folds. In this one, we're playing a Drawmaha bomb pot. 6 of us see a flop of jack ace king rainbow, and I look down at ace king king queen 10 and under the gun. Whoo! I flop the nuts on the board. I also flop a set as backup, and I've got kings down. Small blind leads for a min bet of 5. Big blind calls. I raise to 20. The button, small blind, and big blind make the call. 4 ways going to draw time, and I decide to stand pat here. I know an argument can be made for getting rid of the ace and drawing 1 card, but whatever. The turn comes to 4 of clubs. Small blind checks, and this time the big blind leads for 40. I could go either way between calling and raising. With 2 players left to act and not that many scary river cards for me, I decide to just call to try and bring in one or both players, but they both make the fold. We go heads up to the river, which comes to 5 of spades. The big blind now checks. Super weird line from them. With the nuts on the board and a pair of kings, which could be good, I bet 150 and the big blind snap calls. Going to showdown, and they've got queen 10, so we both got the board nuts, but they've got nothing down, and my pair of kings is good. I end up quartering my opponent. Let's go. One more Drawmaha bomb pot before we head back to hold'em. 6 of us see a flop of deuce queen queen 2 spades, and I look down at king 9997 in the big blind. Not much going on the board, but I have trips down. Being in early position, I decide to check, see what players behind me do, and action checks around. Heading to draw time, I'm going to draw 2, and I get dealt a queen and a 10. I improve to trip queens on the board, and the turn comes a jack. Small blind checks. With trips, outs to make a full house, and trips down, I'm going to bet 20. Only 1 player makes the call. Heads up to the river, which comes the ace of spades. I guess you could say I improve to a flush with 10 9 of spades. Once again, sensing a lot of weakness from my opponent, I end up checking, and they snap check back. They show nothing on the board, and a pair of kings down, which loses to my trips. I scoop the pot. Going back to hold'em, in this one there's an open to 10 from the low jack. Hijack makes the call. I look down at pocket kings and the small blind. I 3-bet to 40, and both players make the call. Going 3 ways to a flop of 10-9-5 rainbow. Action checks to me, and I throw out a c-bet of 60. Only the hijack makes the call. Heads up to the turn, which comes another 10. Not loving this card, as obviously any 10 makes trips now. I decide to check here to pot control in case they have a 10, and disguise the strength of my hand, maybe induce a bluff if they don't. Hijack decides to check back, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable, headed to the river, which comes a break deuce. When the hijack checks back to turn, they're super weak. I think the best move to try and squeeze any value from them is to check and hope they go for a bluff. I check, And they reach for chips. Yes, looks like the plan is working. They fire out a pretty small bet of 85 bucks. I don't really see a point in raising. I quickly make the call and they show ace queen offsuit for ace high. Kings are going to take it down. Last hand of the vlog, there's a call and an open to 10 in front of me before I look down at queens in the cutoff. I 3-bet to 40. Small blind cold calls to 40. Rest of the table folds. We go heads up to a flop of 6 king 5 2 hearts. Small blind checks. Annoying to see this king. I decide to check back, see what develops. Well, things develop quite nicely as the turn comes the queen of diamonds, giving me a set. Let's go. Even better, the small blind shoves for 126. I snap call and they show 3 deuce of diamonds, huh? I don't have much to say except that poker is alive and well. Let's go to the river. I need to dodge a 4 or a non-pairing diamond. Can I hold? Yes, the river is another 6. I make a boat and I take down another nice pot. What a nice easy session. I bought in for 400 and in a few hours ran that up to 1,000, booking a profit of 600. Once again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck at the tables and I will catch you in the next one.